Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Well, not welcome back, what the heck? This is the first episode. I'm going to do Nightmare on episode 1. I will say, I save at the beginning of each level. I don't do this all in one playthrough. Maybe one day I will, but the fact that I attempted this on Nightmare alone was pretty impressive in itself. But anyways, this is going to be the commentary edition. I'm going to tell you guys how I did it, my thought process in each level, and how many failed attempts if I can remember. On this level, I had 2 failed attempts. I went left both times where those shotgunners are with the switch, but in this run, I decided to skip it because every time I went over there, I took around 40 damage. And yes, you do get 100 armor, but I figured the damage I took in health was not worth the armor, and also due to the fact that there is also a 200 armor boost I'm going to grab out here when I go into the secret area on the right. But yeah, I've always been too afraid to attempt Nightmare, but I figured I will attempt it now because Ultraviolence has not become too easy per se, but it's definitely like I wanted to challenge myself a little more. I already did a 100% playthrough on Ultraviolence, so anyways, I'm not getting 100% item secrets or kills. I'm just trying to beat the level simply. So that's that basically. Anyways, the second level, I actually beat on my first attempt. I didn't have too much trouble with this one. The hardest part about it, in my opinion, was this part, and I'll tell you the other part that was really hard. But yeah, this level's not too bad. It's funny because I started shooting these guys, and I forgot that it was Nightmare. And, oh yeah, I'm pausing it to make sure it's recording here. But anyways, I didn't realize it was Nightmare, and of course I, tried to kill all the gunners so I can clear out the room. Little do I realize about 30 seconds later they're going to spawn back in. For those of you that don't know the difference between Ultraviolence and Nightmare, in Nightmare, enemies not only do double damage, but they also attack you twice as much, meaning that if an imp threw a fireball every 2 seconds, on Nightmare it'd be every single second. In addition to that, enemies respawn after, I believe, 30 seconds. Feels like 5 sometimes, but I'm pretty sure it's 30 seconds enemies respawn, so you have to be quick. Another difference that's actually helpful to the player is instead of collecting, say you pick up a shotgun, instead of collecting, 8 rounds, you'll collect 16. A box of shotgun shells on Ultraviolence will give you 20 rounds, whereas in Nightmare, it'll give you 40. So you get double the ammo pickups just like you would in I'm Too Young to Die. However, this is the opposite end of the spectrum, so it's really nice that they give you plenty of ammo to work with, especially for throwing you in such a hellish situation. No pun intended, sorry. Something caught in my throat. But yeah, so this is one of the other hard parts that I was kind of nervous about. But then I realized there's a bunch of imps in the room. One thing you'll notice about speed runs and Nightmare runs is the gunners are the worst enemy in the game. It's not even the imps or even the Barons of Hell per se. It's really just these gunners because they constantly shoot at you. And since they can shoot and fire faster, you actually get damaged a lot more. And you have a harder time going throughout the level with health. This level, I forget how many attempts it took, but it did take over 8, I believe. And I'll show you all the parts I got stuck on too. There is a secret map that you can have access to in this map, but because this is my first time doing Nightmare, like I've played it in the past, but I never, tried to seriously beat the levels. But this was my first time actually going through and doing it. And so I was too nervous to go to the secret exit, and I'll tell you why when I get to that point. But yeah, this level is chocked up full of gunners. I'm actually working on a no damage run for Doom, and I beat the first 2 levels first try. Well, okay, that's a lie. First level I didn't. Second I did first try. This level though, I spent 3 hours straight trying to beat this without taking damage, and I got towards the end to get to the secret exit because I wanted to do all 9 maps, and of course an imp hit me with a fireball, but that's another video for another day. We're going to focus on the Nightmare run. As you can see, my health's getting pretty low. I'm a little nervous about the shotgunners here. Trying to take it slow, but also keep it fast because enemies will respawn. So on Nightmare, you can't take it slow. You kind of have to just go for it. And it's intimidating as heck just because, and the pinkies, normally you can get away with shooting it with a shotgun and pushing it back if you're up against a corner, but in Nightmare the shotgun's not fast enough to combat how fast the pinky bites you, and so what'll end up happening is the pinky will just chomp you. You'll shoot a shotgun blast, it'll move backwards, but it will bite twice as fast, and so you're going to take some mad damage even if you do get cornered by a pinky. So the best thing to do is just to try to rush around the enemy. Sometimes it's better just to not kill them, but like I said before, the gunners are what you really want to get rid of. The imps don't matter as much. I'm just trying to clear out the room here, and of course it helps if you know the secrets of each map. For example, this one right here gives you a bunch of health bonuses and a bunch of ammo and medikits if necessary. That shotgunner is a tool for shooting me like that, but yeah, so without the chain gun, I also don't know if this map would be possible. Like, physically impossible in my opinion. This part I also died quite a bit in because not only are there lots of gunners, but there's also lots of imps, and so the nice thing is infighting, but you know, you're going to get shot from every direction if you don't just take care of the gunners. You can't rely on infighting at this part of the game. This area also happens to be a big area of when I would get hit on the no damage run. Grabbing the blue key, I actually cleared that room out so I could grab that medkit right there, which gave me an extra 25 health boost. Every single health boost counts, even just the blue things. Because even a little shot from a monster can be anywhere from like 8 to 30 points on Nightmare. And with armor, it's like 4 to 15, I guess. Still quite a bit if you calculate all the different times you get shot at the same time. Anyways, yeah, as you can see, lots of shotgunners. The secret exit out of the map is in the middle of the map towards the beginning, but I skip it here because, like I said, too hard. I didn't feel like I was ready. Maybe down the road I will release a video of me going into the secret map on Nightmare and completing it just for you guys, because I don't want to feel like I'm cheating you guys out of that experience. However, I will say I have episodes 2 and 3 completed already. I just need to voice over them, but I do all the secret maps in those episodes. Episode 1's actually harder than episode 2 and 3, and you'll see why if you decide to watch my Nightmare run videos. But yeah, beat that level. It took me a while. As you can tell, that level alone took me longer than the first 2 combined, if I did the math correctly. But yeah, so 4th map, I did this one in 1 try as well. It's me checking to see if my recording's going, because nothing would be worse than getting to the end of a Nightmare run and realizing that I wasn't recording the whole thing. So I always double check to make sure I'm recording. If you see me checking if it's recording in the middle of the match, that usually means it's my first run, because I end my recording at the end of each level and then I start up a new recording on the next level. So most of the time, if you see me pause the game without the pause screen, it's me checking to see if it's recording, and thus it's my first run. So if you don't believe my word, you can take it for the pause of the screen. This map's not too hard, really. If you just stick to the hallways and pick enemies off one by one, yeah, they'll respawn, but you'll never go back to the area that you killed them all in, so it's really nice to... I got pummeled there. I was worried about the barrels, and I just want to get down as quick as I could because you get all of this sweet stuff. Like I said, this is one of those times where knowing a secret helps you out in the long run, because you get 100 health right there, and we are at full health and armor, essentially, which, if you know Nightmare mode, it will drain rather quickly. You're going to see something kind of embarrassing. Whenever I get in this room, I'm going to grab the blue key, and I forgot how to open the doors. So I run to every door to try and open it. I honestly don't remember even what triggers it, but I stuck in here for quite a while. I don't know how, because, I did 100%, playthrough, but here I am stuck in this room. I think you just have to walk over where the blue key was. You see that light? You see that light on the floor? It's like a little diamond square looking. That is how you open the doors. So anyways, turning left because going right literally does nothing good for you. You can snipe off enemies in a window, but since it's Nightmare, they'll just respawn by the time I get there anyways. And with this maze, I just try to get through as fast as possible. It's full of pinkies and imps, so you just want to try and blaze through if you can. Like I said, the chain gun's really good to use in spaces like this. The shotgun's really good for peekaboo sniping, I guess, but in times like this, you just gotta pull that chain gun out and go to town on these guys. Pinkies are the worst. In Doom 2, I do plan to do a Nightmare run. I don't know how successful I'll be at it, but I will attempt it and upload it for you guys. And if I don't upload it, I'll explain why. But I'm pretty sure I will. If you guys are interested in runs faster than this one and done a little bit better, there is a YouTuber called what's his name? I'll post a link to his channel in the description. It's Zero Master, I believe is his name. He's one of my favorite people to watch do Doom playthroughs. He's set world records in speedruns, and he's an inspiration to the Doom community. But I do believe his name is Zero Master. He only has like 13k subscribers. He deserves hundreds of thousands in my opinion, just because of the skill and time he puts into his channel. But yeah, gonna go ahead and give a shout out to that guy. This map took me 5 tries, and the reason I remember 5 specifically is because I died 4 times, and 3 of those 4 times were in the same spot, and I will show you guys what spot I'm talking about. But for now, this map, I don't even bother killing those guys because they're just going to respawn. Of course, getting this health and that armor is going to help us substantially in this next area, which is insane. Look at all the gunners. You just have to pull the chain gun out. The chain gun is the answer to episode 1. It really is. I don't know how else to put it. Ignore those enemies in the window because we're going to have to go there anyways. That's the crazy thing about Nightmares. Normally in Ultra Violence, you can just take care of enemies and move on and they won't respawn. There's no danger, but in this, you almost have to speedrun it because if you don't, then you're gonna get wrecked. By the time you kill all the enemies in a given area, most likely the enemies will respawn. And in Doom, there's not too much backtracking, but there's enough to where you'll go into an area and after you had cleared those guys out, you'll get attacked again. So it's just not worth it. An easy way out of here is actually going through the secret. So before you attempt a Nightmare run, I would get familiar with every map and know all of its different, I guess, routes, escape routes, and areas that you can go in so that you're more prepared to face these guys. Because if you go into a map blind and you don't know where things are, such as secrets especially, you're going to be in for a world of hurt and you're going to be scratching your head as to why you can't beat these levels, and it's because you don't know the ins and outs. So it's really important you know that. This part I died a lot on. As you can see, I'm using my rocket launcher, but on 3 previous attempts, I actually tried using my shotgun and chain gun, and that did not work out for me. I go in here because it has health in it. However, as you see, the shotgunner hit me twice, and it literally made my entire reason of going in there void, so I wasted my entire time. But I go through this hallway anyways. If you grab that invisibility I showed you in the secret room, it'll actually help you quite a bit with the gunners. As for imps, it's not the most helpful because you never know if they're going to throw it right, left, or down the middle at you. It's usually in a random direction, but with gunners, it's always nice because no matter what, they either hit you or they don't. You can't, walk into their bullet. At this point, I'm pretty nervous because I'm getting towards the end of the map. This is the furthest I made it in this run, and I didn't know how I was going to tackle the last one because it's a maze. It's full of small little spaces. I decided to grab the visor right away here on the left because if I have more vision, then it's easier for me to see and thus to navigate through all the different enemies. And I figured I'd peekaboo shoot. As long as I did it within about 20 seconds, I should be okay. And of course, I'm trying to use these pillars as barriers and also the specters. Eventually, I just give up and go straight in here. This room freaks me out though because there are 3 pinkies, and since they attack fast, you have to act quick and also make sure the enemies don't come up behind you. So that's Phobos Lab. That one took me a little while. There is one map, map 7. I think it's Command Center, but whatever the name of it is a hell of a map. No pun intended. It is insane. We're only halfway through the video. Central processing. This map wasn't too hard. This took me 3 attempts. 2 times I failed in the room on my right, and you're going to see why. This room right here. So I tried to kill all the enemies my first attempt, and of course, I just kept forgetting that, Nightmare, they respawn, and so I ended up, my method was just run into, get the key, because it takes 30 seconds for, also check out my health, just saying, but it takes 30 seconds for that door to open up, so you are forced to be in a room not only with a bunch of gunners, but also a bunch of gunners that respawn, and so it's really not a fun time. My health was getting low, I was getting desperate, I was like, when's this door gonna open? It was an intense moment, honestly. Like, I know it looks like it's nothing, and it feels like slow motion in a way, but like when you're in the midst of a Nightmare run like this, it's intense, just straight up. My health's getting low, every single little medkit helps. I mean, I would have been at 7 health if it weren't for that 10 medkit. I don't know why I'm peekaboo shotgunning these guys. I think it's because I was running low on chain gun ammo. Well, I have 188, so I don't know what I was thinking, but I go for it anyways. Of course, it helps to know the secrets of the map. I try to go for that medkit first so that when I pick this up, I can get a little bit more health because you can only max out to 100 health, but with special items like the blue potions you see and those megaspheres, you can actually end up getting more than 100. So invisibility is going to come in really handy here because there are quite a few gunners. In fact, episode 1 is known to have a ton of gunners, and so throughout these episodes, it's really best if you can to have a chain gun and invisibility because of all the gunners. That's what's nice about Doom 2 is besides the chain gunners, and that's another it's another topic I'm not going to get into right now. Chain gunners are the worst thing ever that ever happened to speedrunning. They're terrifying. They just fire really quick, but at least we don't have to deal with chain gunners in episode 1, so I guess I can't complain too much. But yeah, the game supplies you with plenty of ammo, and that's something I really like about this. So we just roll with it. I have to come in here to get the yellow key. There is another way to get the yellow key. However, I decided to go this way for whatever reason. Honestly, if I had went the other way instead of going all the way around there, actually probably would have been easier looking back on it. And this is not going to be my final and only run of Nightmare. I actually plan on doing another Nightmare run on episode 1. Episode 2 to 3, it's debatable. But episode 1, this is going to be my Nightmare run for now. I will do another one that's more quick paced and fast and a little more professional. This was more of a rough draft, you could say. Me just going for the levels with no prior experience, just kind of winging it in a way. But after having played Ultraviolence for long enough, like, yeah, this wall right here will open up and then you can actually get the yellow key through that blue door. But first I had to get the blue key. So I think that's maybe why I went the long way, was because the blue key was up there. I don't remember. Anyways, another secret right here, really nice to know, because you get 100 health and the invisibility helps you with all these shotgunners down here. I was a little nervous, thought I would take a lot more damage than I did, but I actually lucked out, only took 1% below 100, so I basically got 200 health. This place right here is insane intimidating because of all of the monsters. Look at all of them. There's just no way you can't take damage. And look at how fast they attack you, it's just insane. Flipping the switch up here, I've gotten stuck on this level back before I knew Doom. I used to get stuck on this level constantly, just due to the fact I didn't know where the hell to go. I'd flip that switch and I'd be like, what did it do? It opens this doorway right here to the last area of the level, which, ladies and gentlemen, I actually got stuck on this part once as well. This room. So sorry, I died twice earlier and then I died in this room. This was my second attempt of this room, and not only is this room hard on Nightmare, but even on Ultraviolence, this room gave me a kick in the butt. There's just a lot of shotgunners, a lot of specters, and I knew I had to act quick because at this point I knew it was Nightmare. There was no fooling around. Like, this is it right here. And as you can see, I'm picking up health not to boost myself to 100, but literally just to stay alive alone. I shouldn't have killed that Pinky as fast as I did, because now I'm trapped in here getting thrown fireballs and bullets every which way, and there's nowhere for me to run. As you can see, that Pinky almost chomped on me, but I left just enough for him to scoot back and then budge forward to shoot him. But yeah, I'm getting nervous because I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm at 29 health. That guy literally almost bit me. I couldn't believe it. That shotgunner missed me. And the stars had to align for this run to be successful. As you can see, there's a whole bunch of specters in that last room, but there's a glitch that makes them not move. Got 100% secrets though, and I am firm that without those secrets I would not have beat that level. This map, I'm going to be honest with you guys, this is the hardest map in the Nightmare speedrun ever. I can't express to you how long it took me. 3 hours before I decided I am going to use save states. So you guys are going to see me save throughout this run. And, you know, I apologize. I had to use save states. It was too hard. I'd get towards the end of the level and I'd die. And I'd do it over and over again. You had to get lucky, I swear. This is me saving it because it's the most health I've ever had at this point in the level. So I was like, you know what, forget it. I'm just going to use save states. So, when I do episode 1 Nightmare speedrun again, next time not only will I include map 9 for you ladies and gentlemen, but I will also not use save states on map 7. So, kudos to all the people that can beat this level on Nightmare without save states, let alone a speedrun of where they can beat all 9 levels without save states. That amazes me beyond belief. But since I am kind of a rookie, I just decided not to go for the save states. This part up here, I also save it at because this is a pinnacle part for me. Whenever you jump down, there's usually a lot of imps and gunners meeting you at the bottom. I got lucky though, and all the gunners that are usually crowded around the yellow door were dead, and this part as well. The stars aligned. That's all I'm going to say. I know you're going to hear me say it a lot this level, but these stars literally aligned because there are so many unlucky moments. If you guys attempt this on Nightmare, you will know what I'm talking about. But the first thing I do is I like to ride up here because I like to get my health and armor to 200 for the next part of the level. So that's why, another reason it's important to know the map like the back of your hand so you can get all these secrets. There's armor here, and there's enemies there's windows everywhere. This level is completely open. It's like John Romero and Carmack and the entire team that made Doom. They knew people would try to speedrun this with the time limits they set on each level, and so they said, you know what? We're going to give these guys a little bit of a challenge. We're going to put windows everywhere so that monsters, not only imps, but gunners of all types will attack them from all angles. I saved at this part because this is another pinnacle part to save at, due to the fact that the next room is a hit or miss, all the random enemies in there. Look at all those gunners and imps, and if you are not in the right place at the right time, you are going to get mauled in all directions. Look, there are 3 different windows that lead to 3 different areas, and so that's why I saved it there. Usually I hate pinkies, but they're a breath of fresh air. There's also a lot of gunners, so I peekaboo shoot these guys. I figured I can grab the red key and get out there in 30 seconds. So I go for it. Another window full, just There's nowhere safe in this level. You have to act quick the entire time. There's no time to dilly-dally, no time to play it safe. As in most levels, but this level especially. I mean, heck, I got so scared I saved it twice here, because I can't tell you how many times I died on this elevator right here. See, you get blocked. In this version of Doom, it is similar to the PC one. You get blocked by entities, whether they're on the same level as you or not. If they're taking up a space, all Y-axes are blocked, meaning up and down. So I couldn't get onto that platform because there were pinkies on the platform where I was trying to go. In addition, if a pinky bites you from the bottom platform and you're on the top, you still get damaged as if you were standing right next to the pinky. I don't know how it works. Technically, this game is two-dimensional, but it has a three-dimensional, I guess, platform. So you could call it 2.5-dimensional. But yeah. I don't know how many attempts this took me, by the way, so don't ask it. It was well over 60. Well over 60. And that's why I use save states. It was driving me insane. I feel like I wasted a big portion of my day trying to do this. Just look at all and they just keep respawning. It's unfair almost. Oh, so frustrated. But as you're seeing, this is going to be the successful run, so even as low as my health will get, look at Doom Guy's face. Poor guy. I put him through so much. But here we are. A bunch of little health bonuses and armor bonuses just to tease the player with, oh, you might live. Who knows? This one armor might save your life. Of course, there are imps in that window, but I'm going to ignore them until I get to the key, because I swear if I killed those imps now, they would have respawned by the time I got there. A lot of gunners. As you can see, I'm playing really cautiously, getting shot with shotgunners in other places, and I don't know how the RNG was lucky. Both of the gunners missed me both times. I don't know if you saw those shots on the right, but this 18 health and 28 end up saving my butt, and you're going to see how. I'm trying to get to the end of the map. At this point, my hands are super sweaty. I'm weak. So many shotgunners, and if you turn to your left and right out those windows, even more gunners out there. So, on ultra violence, it's not terrible. You can take this map chunks at a time. Look at my health, 3% because of the shotgunners on the outside. Got 125% kills. That map was no joke, ladies and gentlemen. Now for the breather. Once I got to this map, I knew it was over. This only took me one attempt. It's a very easy map. It's open. The only hard part is the specters at the end, and since I'm at 3 health, I didn't take any chances. I didn't step on the green or anything. I came up here to give all this health, and then there's only one secret on this map, I believe, and it's this one right here with the green wall. There is a megasphere in it, and I was hoping the pinkies wouldn't trap me in there, and thankfully they didn't. I go ahead and grab all of this ammo. I don't know why I don't have a backpack, but that actually does not make sense. I don't know why I don't have a backpack. You know why, actually? Hold up. I died on this map to the pinkies while trying to get the megasphere, and instead of loading my old save, I decided to go with the save I was on currently. So I actually don't have any rockets. I just have a shotgun and a chain gun, which is why I don't have the backpack. That makes a lot more sense now. So I did die on this level once. Apologies, I had spaced that. But yeah, so that's why you don't see me pull out the rocket and go to town on these Barons of Hell. It's because I only have the chain gun and shotgun, and since I use most of the chain gun on these specters, and not in a very timely manner, I had to use the shotgun to take care of these Barons of Hell. Grabbing the invisibility was a big mistake because, as you can see, they're kind of throwing their green balls in random directions, and it's really hard to navigate where the balls will go. It's actually ironically easier if you're not invisible when it comes to ball shooting enemies such as imps or Barons of Hell. Invisibility is only really useful against pinkies, I guess, because sometimes they'll bite another direction, and then of course gunners because instant direct hit. I try to collect all the ammo I can and finish these guys off, but in order to lower the walls you have to kill the 2 Barons of Hell, and I wanted to make sure I killed them close together. I didn't want to kill one super early and then have to kill the other one later, because I didn't want the Baron to respawn and then be here infinitely with no ammo. So yeah, I tried to keep their health right around the same as each other so that I could complete this map successfully. As you can see, I'm leaving, and episode 1 is basically over, ladies and gentlemen. I will go ahead and show you the outro. We have about 20 seconds left in this video, but yeah, I hope you enjoyed my Nightmare run of Doom. I will release a version of these Nightmare runs without commentary for those that prefer no commentary. This wasn't a speed run technically. I guess every Nightmare one would be a speed run. But anyways, I'm gonna release episode 2 and 3, so stay tuned. I hope to see you in the next video.